Hey, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, I'm here and I talk about faith, hope, and mental health. I have been really open about my struggles with anxiety and depression and how I found healing through my relationship with Jesus. I've talked a lot about my journey with depression, but I haven't really talked about my struggles with ADHD and having autism. And today I want to get real personal and share with you guys what it is like to have both depression and ADHD and autism. I never thought I'd be sharing my story on YouTube, but here I am. I know that I'm not alone in this because according to the CDC, autism affects 1 in 54 children in the US and the numbers are probably higher. Now, I was diagnosed with autism when I was 15, so this is something that's near and dear to my heart. When it comes to hope in the midst of our struggle, God calls us to be a remembering people. If you spend even 15 seconds gazing into your own past, it will begin to sparkle with 10,000 mercies reflecting off the waves of those memories. The sea of past grace dwells here and welcomes us to come and drink and remember as often as we need to. You could easily spend a week reliving and remembering God's many special provisions that came later than you wanted, but at just the right time, look further back along the waves and see the unshakable pillars of our hope in Christ. Look upon his life, perfectly lived, poured out as a living sacrifice for you. See the pinnacle of God's glory and our great hope at the cross. Look and believe again in the resurrection. Look at the ascension and the inaugural reign of Christ as he sat down at the right hand of God the Father. Look further still and see the faithfulness of God to his people throughout every stiff-necked and rebellious generation in history. See him leading with a cloud by day and by night, a pillar of fire, steadfast and faithful. Look out to the farthest reaches and see your name being written in the book of life, sealed for all eternity. Every one of your days was written down by God before the foundation of the world. How much less would we worry if we drank these waters down daily, building up in our hearts a storehouse of ready defenses against the onslaughts of anxiety and unbelief. What is autism? Autism is a bio-neurological developmental disability that generally appears before the age of 3. Autism impacts the normal development of the brain in the areas of social interaction, communication skills, and cognitive function. Individuals with autism typically have difficulties in verbal and nonverbal communication, social interactions, and leisure or play activities. Individuals with autism often suffer from numerous comorbid medical conditions which may include allergies, asthma, epilepsy, digestive disorders, persistent viral infections, feeding disorders, sensory integration dysfunction, sleeping disorders, and more. Autism is diagnosed 4 times more often in boys than girls. Its prevalence is not affected by race, region, or socioeconomic status. Since autism was first diagnosed in the U.S., the incidence has climbed to an alarming 1 in 36 children in the U.S. Autism itself does not affect life expectancy. However, research has shown that the mortality risk among individuals with autism is twice as high as the general population, in large part due to drowning and other accidents. Currently, there is no cure for autism, however. With early intervention and treatment, the diverse symptoms related to autism can be greatly improved and in some cases completely overcome.